Looking back to the recent past, it shows that China's economy has been gradually slowing down. And this is partly a reflection of developments in world markets, a slowdown in exports, but also a desired response to tightening policies and to a slowdown in the property sector. So we see that investment growth has been slowing down and exports have been sluggish. But in turn, consumption in China has held up relatively well and helped so far achieve a soft landing. Looking to the future, we see China's growth slowing slightly this year from about 9.4% last year to around 8.2%, and perhaps rebounding slightly next year as the world economy improves. We also see further prospects for controlling inflation. That was a big issue last year but seems to be brought under control. And a slight increase in China's current account surplus, primarily because the commodities that China imports, which are very important, may become a bit cheaper than the exports that it sells. So generally we see the prospects for a soft landing. We also note some risk factors which could lead to different scenarios. One is the external environment, something could change abroad. And second, the domestic property market is under adjustment. That's a very important sector and one whose trajectory is still uncertain. We also look at policies, both in the short term and in the longer term. In the near term, we see the major focus could be on fiscal adjustment. If there is a need for further stimulus, channeling the money directly through the budget rather than indirectly through the banks offers good prospects for keeping the growth rate relatively high. We do talk about particular issues such as greater social spending and possibly some tax reform as those components. There's also, in addition, some prospects for slightly adjusting monetary policy. We also think that the changes that are implemented, the stimulus, should look at simultaneously helping the economy but also leading China to its longer-term goals. And the longer-term goals are, first of all, to sustain slightly slower but still relatively rapid GDP growth. And second is really making the inroads into some of these economic, social, and environmental imbalances. And the report also discusses many of these longer-term challenges. It discusses innovation policy as a way to sustain growth. It looks at labor market institutions as a way to improve social outcomes. And it talks about fiscal reforms and fiscal institutions that can help manage macroeconomic risks and achieve a more smooth adjustment over time.